It's finally over. I know it will get colder, but the waves fall on shoulder. Oh, I know it's gonna be okay when you wrap your arms around me. Hold a centerpiece before my eyes. You make me wanna you make me feel alive. You make me want you more than I need. You lift me up when I fall on my knees. You make me want you more than I need. You lift me up when I fall on my knees. Oh, I know it's gonna be okay when you wrap your arms around me. Hold a centerpiece before my eyes. You make me wanna you make me feel alive. You make me want you more than I need. You lift me up when I fall on my knees. You make me want you more than I need. You lift me up when I fall on my knees.
G'day. Sorry it's been so long since I've done a mainline video. First off, I was waiting for my new mic because I wanted a little bit better voice quality for you guys, since most of my videos are going to be mainly images of carvings with me talking in the background and music. So I figured you deserved better sound than what my phone was providing. So that said, I will be a little behind on my mainline videos to my shorts because of this, so I hope it doesn't confuse too many people. Though I don't suspect many people watch the mainline anyone's. They're more for, well, they're for anyone that wants to watch, but they're also, I always viewed them as more for people that want to learn and understand the process a bit more, and there's not many, I should say, there's not many with attention span these days with social media the way it is. Okay, that said, this will be the one on at kind of boomerang shape. It is what in the industry known as a breastplate. So I am going to talk a little bit how I formed it, and then I'll probably leave the rest with the music, and I hope you enjoy. So I start off with, of course, making this boomerang shape. It was for a pretty Italian lady who was here in New Zealand for a bit, and she had stopped by and wanted to see my carvings, and at the time she wanted one, but because of the travels wasn't too sure she could afford it at the time. So about, it's probably been a bit now, probably 2 years later she contacted me. Was it 2 years? Yeah, somewhere around there. And she wanted me to make her one, and she showed me a few pictures of what she wanted, and now this isn't actually what she wanted. So as cool as this turns out, she didn't want it in the end, and I'm actually in the process of making another one for her. Because sometimes when you get into that state of carving, that state of play, that creative state I talked about in my shorts, you get carried away a bit. Usually it doesn't happen, but every now and then you just get in a flow, and time kind of vanishes, and you just go along with it, and next thing you know, you finish this piece and you're like, oh, that wasn't actually what I was meant to do. And that can happen, and usually I just put it aside and start another one of what that person wants, and just sell it as something different. But at the end of this one, I actually thought it was really cool, and I don't know, I guess I thought she might like it, but I was wrong, and it's no problem with that. So I'm in the process of making another, and there will be a short and probably a mainline video on that one. It's a little more simpler, and I think that's why she didn't like this one. It was a lot going on it, more design flair and strange shapes and patterns, and yeah, it kind of looks like, some people said it looked like two wings on, and I said, oh, I can see that, yeah. The other thing that happened is that it was meant to be just that plain curve, and then I added that flourish of that kind of feathered look at each end. But it was meant to just have a little kuru in the center of it, and kuru is the Māori word for spiral. And as I was doing it, I think you can see it in the video. I don't think it's super clear, but I kind of mess it up, and so I have to end up cutting it. And sometimes that's the point where you can get knocked out of that state. But if you can manage to keep yourself in that flow state, that creative play, oftentimes you can actually turn that mistake into something really cool and quite unique. At least that's what I found with a lot of my carvings. At first, when I was first doing this, I'd get so annoyed, and yeah, I just couldn't handle it. It bugged me so much that I'd have to just stop and walk away, because I thought I ruined it. But over the years, as I kept doing it, I would just push through it and see if I could make something out of it, rather than getting annoyed and stopping and then walking off and coming back and trying to start again, or abandoning the piece and starting a new one. And I started to find that if you didn't let those annoyances get a hold of you and you just go with it, quite often you can actually make something cooler than what you originally designed. And so that's what happens here. I was meant to make a spiral, or a kuru, and I messed up the dimensions with my, not actually with the drilling of the kuru, it was the carving out with the flathead Dremel bit. So that was where, what did I do there? I think I ended up, what's the word? I ended up moving the bit too much to one side, and I carved out too much, and because there wasn't much space to work within the kuru, because I'd made it quite fine, I ended up, it wasn't enough for it to stay strong enough, and I knew that if I sold it like that, or passed it on to the person, it'd be very likely to break, and I like to make sure my pieces are well made to the point that the only time they're going to break is if someone's too rough with them. Because the last thing you want to do is buy this really beautiful piece, spend all that money on it, and next thing you know, it snaps within a few weeks to a few months, even a year or two. And that gets under my skin, because I don't like to sell stuff to that kind of standard or degree or quality. I like to make sure when you buy it, you know it's going to be yours for a good long time. And the only way it's going to break, well, I mean, I can't guarantee it. You never know. There's unknown fractures within stones that sometimes they just happen to snap. And that happens too within the carving process. Sometimes I'm just going along, next thing the bit snaps right in half. I'm like, oh man, there goes that bit. And then same thing, I have to just go off and turn the two pieces into something else. So that said, I like to make sure they within the most of it I can guarantee, which is by my understanding of the way stones form, because I've actually got 10 years of working in the crystal industry, so I have a pretty good understanding of stone growths and their patterns and the way they form, and I'm pretty good at identifying flaws and that stuff in each stone and what they are. So usually I can pick out a pretty good stone that's not going to snap or break on its own. That still said, you never know. You can't guarantee these things. Sometimes there's micro fractures. But yeah, I like to make sure, to the best of my ability, that I can make the best quality. Yeah, so I finished this one off and I did all the polishing. That's another good talking point. I don't often I haven't shown any of the polishing stage. Partly because it's not super interesting. You just see me rubbing the stone with a cloth and some sandpapers. If enough you are interested and you want to say, just drop some comments and ask if you want to see the polishing stage. I'll be happy to show it. The other side of it is I tend to do it while I'm sitting at my desk watching something, because it's one of the processes you don't actually have to pay much attention to, because you've already made your shape, you've made the design, you've put the detail in, and the final stage is literally just getting two different grits of sandpaper, sanding down the scratches, and then the final polish is the polishing cloth with the diamond grit paste. You're just rubbing it by hand. At least that's the way I do it. Some of the more professional carvers have other formats and systems. Mainly it's a big wheel. It's got like this kind of cloth on it. It's like kind of like a pancake of very thin cloths, of probably like 50 to 60 of them. And what you do is you rub this green bar on it, and it leaves this the green stuff on the cloth, and it's a polishing compound, and then you just hold your piece over that and it usually polishes up quite well. That is a good option. I don't actually have one of those machines, so I don't tend to go down that route. I could get one in the future, but I actually quite like doing it by hand, because to me it's just part of the imparting the energy and the Māori belief, the mana, is that gives the stone a bit more strength and grounded connection. Because for those that don't know, greenstone, which we call in New Zealand jade, or Ponamu, is a very strong stone of protection and connection to the land. And that is, primarily its function. There's a lot of others, but those tend to be the most accepted and understood. And they are very strong in energies and hold energies as well, from the wearer, the carver, and the land. So I like to do it by hand to help, in a way, smooth out any negative energies that might be in there, and impart neutral energies from me into it, so that when the person gets it, it's brand new and special for that person. So yeah, that's all I got to say on this so far, so I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. This is a little on the longer side. I think it's 2 hours. Yeah, somewhere around there. You don't have to watch all of it, but for the ones that do, I appreciate it, and I hope you all enjoy.
most tremendous new musical experience you can have.
But that's only part of the story. If something should happen, don't you be afraid.
It's nothing short of a miracle.
find me waiting in the dark. Hide away my spark for the world to see. You can find me holding back my heart. You can't hurt me anymore. I'm free.
Why are we here if not to be heard? If a tree falls and there's no one there to hear it, then it did not make a sound. Because in order for a sound to exist, it needs a receiver or an observer. So if we want our life to be meaningful, what we say, what we do, needs to be heard. spent our whole lives without affecting anyone or anything, would we even exist? Most of us find meaning in life by having connection, generating a profound effect on the universe around us, creating ripples of observation and action that echo through the generations. So if someone wants to be heard, we should listen.
There's something in the water. Listen to the deep. There's something in the water. Turning me, baby. Ain't got no trust for you. Ain't got no trust for you. Got no trust for you. Ain't got no trust for you. I can see it shivering beneath the surface where